Hello dear students, in today's class let us learn about Newton's rings. So Newton's rings is an example of interference by division of amplitude. So here, as we have seen in the last video, we learned about interference from thin films, right? Here too we have an air film from which we are actually obtaining this interference pattern. So as indicated in this figure, you can see there is some bright and dark fringes in circular shape which is formed here. This is what we observe in the Newton's rings experiment. So first let us learn about the Newton's rings experimental setup. So we have a plano-convex lens. By plano-convex lens we have one side being a convex side and the other side being a plane. So these kinds of lenses are called plano-convex lens. And we have a plain glass plate on which this plano-convex lens is placed. From above, we actually allow some light to fall on this plano-convex lens. So here you can see this is the sodium lamp. This lamp is emitting light as parallel beams, and this beam of light is reflected by a glass plate which is placed at 45-degree angle, and this light ray will be reflected onto this plano-convex lens like this, and after reaching here this will undergo interference and will be reflected back and will be observed by this microscope. So light from the sodium source will fall on the glass plate. It will be reflected to the bottom to the plano-convex lens. There it will be splitted up and it will be reflected back where we observe it using microscope. So within this plano-convex lens, at this point we are having an interference process. So let us understand that. So when light wave from above falls on a plano-convex lens here, this light beam, a part of it will be reflected from this point here which we call as D. So this is the glass air boundary, right? Glass to air boundary, because here we have glass which makes the plano-convex lens, and below we have air in this region. So this is the point where glass meets air. So we say it as a glass to air boundary. So a part of light coming from the above will be reflected at this glass to air boundary, and the remaining part will be going in, and that part will be reflected back at the point J. So we have two rays. Here we have drawn it slightly bent. So the single ray, that is C, let us visualize this. The single ray that is coming from the above, a part of it will be reflected at the glass to air boundary here, and the remaining part will be reflected at the point J at the air to glass boundary. So glass to air boundary at the point D and air to glass boundary at the point B, and it will be reflected from here. So these two rays 1 and 2, the ray 2 is reflected from the point D and ray 1 is reflected from the point J. These two will interfere and will give rise to an interference pattern which we actually observe as Newton's rings. So the Newton's rings are formed due to the interference of light wave that is reflected from the top and bottom part of the air film in the Newton's ring setup. So actually the film that we use here is the air film. This is the air, right? This region is filled up with air, and this air film is actually causing this Newton's rings, because the light wave is being reflected from the top and bottom of this air film. The plano-convex lens is acting as a setup for making this air film. the two rays that is reflected from the top and bottom of the air film below this plano convex lens is causing the interference in Newton's rings. Now we have learned that in the case of an interference from any thin film, the path difference is given by delta is equal to 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2, right? Here mu is the refractive index of the film, t is the thickness of the film, then r is the angle of refraction, and lambda is the wavelength of the light used. So since air film is being used, the value of refractive index is 1. And since the light wave is falling perpendicularly from above at angle of incidence 0, angle of refraction will also be 0. In the case of a Newton's ring, r is equal to 0. So what will be the equation for path difference delta? Delta will be 2 into 1 into t into cos 0 minus lambda by 2. So this is equal to cos 0 is 1. So this is equal to 2t minus lambda by 2. So this is the equation for path difference delta in the case of Newton's rings. Now let us write down the conditions for constructive interference and destructive interference. First, let us learn about the condition for constructive interference. We know constructive interference will give rise to bright fringe in any interference process. So what is the condition? Delta is equal to m lambda is the condition for constructive interference. And specifically for Newton's rings, we found that delta is equal to 2t minus lambda by 2, right? So delta is equal to 2t minus lambda by 2 is the path difference in the Newton's rings process. And delta is equal to m lambda is the condition for constructive interference. So equating these two, we get 2t minus lambda by 2 is equal to m lambda. If this condition is satisfied, we will get constructive interference or bright fringe. So this implies 2t is equal to m lambda plus lambda by 2, which is equal to 2m lambda plus lambda whole divided by 2, and which is equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2. So we can say that if this condition is satisfied, we get bright fringe. So let me rewrite that equation. If 2t is equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2, we get bright fringe. So please note here, normally we remember 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2 is the condition for dark fringe, right? But in the case of a Newton's rings, due to the discussions made above, we can say that 2t is equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2 is the condition for bright fringe actually. Similarly, let us write the condition for formation of dark fringe. So what is the condition for destructive interference? Condition for destructive interference is actually given by delta is equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2. Please note that in the case of the bright fringe, 2t is equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2, not delta. Delta is equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2 is the condition for destructive interference. Always this is the equation. If path difference is equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2, then we will get destructive interference or a dark band. And for Newton's rings, we have written down that delta is equal to 2t minus lambda by 2. So equate these equations 1 and 2 just like we did above. 2t minus lambda by 2 is equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2 correspond to the condition for destructive interference. Or we could say 2t is equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2 plus lambda by 2, or which implies this is equal to 2m plus 2m lambda by 2 plus lambda by 2 plus lambda by 2, right? Here 2m lambda by 2 plus lambda by 2 plus lambda by 2, which is equal to m lambda plus lambda, which is equal to m plus 1 into lambda. Here m varies from 0, 1, 2, etc. m is an integer. So I can also rewrite this like this is equal to m lambda given m is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. So I can say 2t is equal to m plus 1 into lambda, or 2t is equal to m lambda is the condition for dark fringe in the case of Newton's rings. And the condition for bright fringe was defined as 2t is equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2. Here 2t is equal to m lambda correspond to the dark fringe in a Newton's rings experiment. Now, what are the factors on which the constructive and destructive interference depends on? It depends on the wavelength of the light lambda and also on the thickness of the air film. So in a Newton's rings experiment, we have the planar convex lens below which we have the air film. This is the air film region. The air in between the convex lens and the glass plate is the air film, and as you can see, its thickness varies. At this point the thickness is this much, and towards the center point the thickness of the air is very low. So thickness of the air actually varies. Thickness varies for the air film in the Newton's rings. So when we look at the planar convex lens, from the center point, all the points at equal radius from the center will be having the same thickness. So since this is a circular in shape, this lens is circular in shape, from the center point, equal radii points, the points that are lying at equal distance from the center, will have the same thickness of air. So at that point we will get the same interference, constructive or destructive interference. So when we look at the Newton's rings, the center point have zero thickness. The center point has zero thickness, right? Since the planar convex lens touches with the glass plate at the center point has zero thickness, and this actually corresponds to the condition 2t equal to m lambda. When m is equal to 0, this actually satisfies 0 is equal to 0, t is equal to 0, so 2t is equal to 0 and m lambda is equal to 0. So at the center point the condition for darkness is satisfied, so the center point will be dark in a Newton's rings experiment. After that, the first region will satisfy the condition 2t equal to 2m plus 1 into lambda by 2. So there we will have the first bright fringe followed by a dark fringe, then it is followed by a bright fringe and so on. So effectively, since the regions of same thickness lies in a circular region, the interference pattern that we get in the Newton's rings experiment is circular in shape. So this is the reason why we observe this kind of interference pattern, circularly shaped interference pattern in Newton's rings experiment. So just go through your text and try to understand more about the Newton's rings experiment. I hope this is clear for you. Thank you.